Hello everyone, today we bring you part 6. First, let's briefly recap the previous episode. After parting ways with the Gale Wolf team, Yi Tian meets up with the main force that is led by Elder King, a great warrior from the Iron Fang base. Alongside him are Lin Mingzi from the Lin family and Mo Zhangqing and Mo En from the Mo family. Elder King proceeds to destroy the mighty ant's nest using a precious formation and the fire explosion ball. A horde of mighty ants swarm up to battle the main force. It is in this battle that Yi Tian manages to copy a top-tier talent. A strength talent. A golden mighty ant appears which forces the main force to retreat and allow Yi Tian to split from the main force. After finding a safe spot and time, Yi Tian fuses the strength talent and proceeds to return home. At home and after some time afterwards, Yi Tian meets again with Captain Gale Wolf. The Mo family plots up a scheme to invite Yi Tian to a banquet, which forces Yi Tian into a final confrontation with the Mo family. This results in the complete obliteration of the Mo family, with the deaths of Mo Zhangqing, Mo En, and Mo Zhangqing's son, Mo Kang Sheng. In lieu of this outcome, Yi Tian asks Captain Gale Wolf to train Yi Yu and cultivate her with the investment of resources, while he himself continues to cultivate on his own. Let's continue with the story of Yi Tian in the aftermath of the confrontation. The scene shifts to outside Captain Gale Wolf's mansion early in the morning. It was Yi Tian, Captain Gale Wolf, and Yi Yu. Captain Gale Wolf asks, "You are really leaving?" Yi Tian answers, "Yeah, I'm going to the Thousand-Leaf Forest because it has something that I want." Captain Gale Wolf surmises, due to the increasing threat of monsters, the Iron Fang base has been sending more and more people to the Linhai base. The two Grand Masters can't hold off the monsters for much longer. Getting stronger is the top priority right now. Yi Tian closes his hood saying, "Yes, I have to get stronger before their defenses fails." The EU protests. "But, you just returned not too long ago, and now you are leaving again." She rubs her hands together, saying, "Can you just not go?" Yi Tian comforts Yi Yu, saying, "Don't worry, I will be fine. Make sure you focus on learning the basics of the body training technique from the captain. Take the elixirs on time and cultivate well." Yi Yu bravely says, "Okay, then be careful out there too, bro. I will be waiting for you at home." Yi Tian smiles appreciatively, saying, "Sure thing." He steps toward Captain Gale Wolf. Yi Tian places his hand on Captain Gale Wolf's chest, saying, "I will be leaving Yi Yu in your care, Captain." Captain Gale Wolf puffs out his chest, saying, "Leave it to me. A brother's sister is my sister too." Suddenly, a motorcycle blares its engines loudly. A convoy of cars can be seen being led by a blonde-haired man on a motorcycle. All of the cars can be seen with the banners of the Iron Fang base. Captain Gale Wolf proclaims, "The people from the Iron Fang base are arriving." Yi Tian asks incredulously, "On such a large scale?" Yi Yu also watches on apprehensively. The blonde-haired man blares up the motorcycle's engine doing a wheelie, saying, "Linhai base, here we come, hehe." He is Sun Feng, one of the 4 great prodigies of the Iron Fang base. A mid-tier elite warrior. Somebody said, "That is the Sun family's convoy." The convoy speeds past Yi Tian, Yi Yu, and Captain Gale Wolf. Yi Tian analyzed, thinking, "That guy on the motorcycle." A status window pops up. Human, Sun Feng, cultivation talent, high tier, Sword talent. Mid-tier. Yi Tian looks at Sun Feng, thinking. What high stats? A car can be seen blaring its engines, blowing up smoke. The EU was coughing, saying, cough. Cough. What the heck? They are taking this too far. Yi Tian agrees, thinking. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? Yi Tian guardedly says. All right, you both should go in now. I am heading out. Yu argues. Already. Yi Tian activates his speed talent. He jumps up, speeding away into the horizon. Yu prays. Be safe out there, bro. The scene shifts to the thousand-leaf forest. Yi Tian can be seen walking through the forest. He continues to walk upon a trail through the trees. Yi Tian analyzes his surroundings, saying, what a barren place. Suddenly, he sees a paw print on the ground. Yi Tian crouches and analyzes the paw print, saying, this is most likely the footprint of a black wolf panther. He smiles, saying, if I find the black wolf panther, I will be able to increase my speed talent. Suddenly, the forest shakes. Birds fly about escaping, and a red-crimson light can be seen. Yi Tian looks around cautiously for any danger. He continues to look around, thinking, what a strong elemental force fluctuations. There must be monsters fighting nearby. Yi Tian jumps, racing towards the source, thinking, I will go check it out. He sees a gigantic ape fighting two golden wolf panthers. Yi Tian lands upon a ledge, thinking, those are gold dragon panthers. They are rare mutant variant species and more powerful than the black wolf panthers. Yi Tian is amazed. That speed. It's got to be an apex tier speed talent. And that gorilla is probably a high tier beast whose combat ability rivals that of a peak great warrior. The two gold dragon panthers are mid-tier beasts. While they possess an apex tier speed talent, it will still be difficult for them to defeat the gorilla. The two gold dragon panthers can be seen slowly being overwhelmed. Yi Tian rubs his chin, thinking, how should I copy the apex tier speed talent in the middle of such an intense fight? Suddenly, a small paw can be seen walking slowly towards Yi Tian. It licks the edge of Yi Tian's coat, announcing its presence. Yi Tian looks back amazed, saying, huh? A small golden dragon panther cub smiled at Yi Tian adoringly, meowing. Yi Tian backed away, saying, why is there another small one? What do you want? The cub glows itself. Yi Tian recognizes it and thinks, the light of spirit. The cub communicates with Yi Tian, telepathically saying, Master, I would like to offer my light of spirit to sign a master-servant contract with you. I will be your most loyal servant. Yi Tian asks in amazement. A little girl's voice. He incredulously asks, is that you talking? The cub acknowledges, expectantly. Yes, master. Yi Tian crouches upon the ground, asking, why have you recognized me as your master? The cub answers telepathically, I have detected a benevolent speed aura from master. A status window pops up showing the cub's talents. Species: Gold Dragon Panther. Innate talent: Apex tier. Speed talent: Apex tier. Endurance talent: Mid tier. Healing talent: Novice tier. Yi Tian acknowledges. speed, endurance, healing. These are all strong talents. This is a divine beast. The cub interjects. Have mercy, master. My parents are in imminent danger and my mom is with a child. Please save them. Yi Tian smiles, saying, Leave it to me. Yi Tian pets the cub and says, Little guy, let's call you Little Jin from now on. You will be my first pet. Little Jin acknowledges. Thank you, master. A status window pops up. Apex tier speed talent copied. Would you like to fuse? Yes. No. Yi Tian smiles confidently, confirming. Fuse. Yi Tian stands up looking down towards the battle, saying, Since you think so highly of me. He takes out his shadow blade, continuing. It's only natural for me to lend a helping hand. Yi Tian focuses his battle intent. Little Jin stands upon Yi Tian's shoulder, copying the same facial resolve. A status window of Yi Tian's comprehensive talents pops up. Cultivation talent, high tier, speed talent, apex tier, sword talent, mid tier, shadow talent, novice tier, healing talent, apex tier, strength talent, high tier. Yi Tian activates his speed and strength talents. He jumps down, readying his sword to attack the gorilla, thinking, I will first target its weakness. Yi Tian swings down, dealing a devastating blow. The eyes. Blood can be seen gushing out from the gorilla's eyes. Yi Tian activates another strength talent, dealing another devastating blow. The gorilla roars in anguish and pain as both of its eyes gushes out blood. Yi Tian lands with grace. Both golden dragon panthers growls menacingly towards Yi Tian. Yi Tian instructs Little Jin. Little Jin, I don't have your mom's light of spirit. Quickly tell her that I am not an enemy. Little Jin diligently begins to talk. Meow meow meow. Her mom answers incredulously. Meow. Yi Tian offers. This is a healing medicinal pill. Quickly take it to prevent miscarriage. He crouches down, saying, It's safe, don't worry. The mom sniffs at Yi Tian's hand. The mom licks Yi Tian's hand and eats the pill, saying appreciatively, Meow meow. The dad looks at the mom's body, which is radiating healing light, saying, Meow. Little Jin says, Master, my dad said. Yi Tian chuckles, completing Little Jin's words. To give him one too, right? Little Jin raises her paw and gratefully says, Thank you, master. The gorilla suddenly wakes up and desperately runs away. Yi Tian looks in amazement, saying, It's escaping. Both mom and dad suddenly growls in anger, activating their talents. Yi Tian analyzes, thinking, It looks like they don't plan on letting the gorilla go. Yi Tian proclaims, Well, I will see it through to the end. There is no way 3 apex tier speed talents can't kill a high tier beast. Little Jin protests. Master, it's not just 3, but 4. I am also learning how to fight. Yi Tian smiles in agreement. You are right. Yi Tian and the 3 golden dragon panthers speed to pursue the gorilla. They corner the gorilla, stopping it in its tracks. Yi Tian realizes, I didn't know apex tier speed talent was this fast. I am still not used to this. A giant gorilla hand can be seen reaching towards the group. Yi Tian analyzes the situation. He activates his shadow talent and disappears. Yi Tian appears next to the gorilla. He then activates his strength talent and deals a devastating blow. The giant gorilla flew backwards, being pursued by both Mom and Dad. Dad bites down hard, scratching it, dealing a heavy blow. Mom additionally also bites down hard, dealing another heavy blow. The gorilla cries out in pain and anguish as Mom, Dan, Yi Tian and Little Jin continues to deal devastating blows. Yi Tian activates his strength talent to its maximum and readies a deadly punch. His fist glows brightly with the strength talent being activated. The gorilla's stomach receives the punch squarely. Its face screams out in agony. The gorilla falls down to the ground again, its body being flown back due to the force of the punch. A tall plume of dust can be seen from afar, signaling the result of the battle. Mom and Dad can be seen running. Yi Tian can be seen looking towards the plume of dust. The giant gorilla appears from the plume of dust, trying to grasp Yi Tian. As Yi Tian is dodging and avoiding the gorilla's blows, he couldn't help but wonder. It's still not dead. What a sturdy body. Suddenly a crimson streak was stopped as it was hit by the gorilla's blow. Another crimson streak shot towards the gorilla's face, hitting it squarely. It was the dad that dealt the blow. Its face glowing brightly, the eyes bright red. A tooth can be seen flying out as the result of the blow. The gorilla finally dropped in a heap on the ground, dead. Its face and head gushing out blood profusely. Little Jin bounded and jumped upon Yi Tian, asking, "Master, did we win?" Yi Tian answered telepathically, "We did." He hugged Little Jin warmly. Little Jin also hugged Yi Tian warmly. Yi Tian smiled appreciatively, thinking, "I didn't think that one day I would fight along with a beast." Suddenly, a paw can be seen trembling. It was Mom. She fell heavily on the ground. Yi Tian could only gasp worriedly, saying, "Oh, no." He realized that it may be her that was hit previously. He looked towards the mom, saying, "The female dragon panther is injured." Little Jin yelled worriedly, "Mom." Little Jin jumped off Yi Tian towards her mom. She said in anguish, "Mom." Yi Tian analyzed, saying, "The impact from the battle probably injured her innards." Yi Tian produced a healing medicine bottle, saying, "Luckily, I always keep a healing medicine on hand." He crouched down next to Mom, flicking the medicine bottle open, saying, "Time to put it to use." Yi Tian poured the healing medicine into Mom's mouth, saying, "This medicine heals the innards. You will be okay." Mom slowly stands up, saying, "Meow." Little Jin smiles and translates, "Thank you, Master." Mom says she feels a lot better now. Yi Tian smiles, relieved, saying, "That is good to hear." The scene shifts afterwards toward the night as they wait for Mom to heal. The area around them can be seen with many red crimson lights. It is a pack of black wolf panthers surrounding them. Little Jin gives a warning. "Watch out, Master. Black wolf panthers are approaching. They are the ones that lured the gorilla out." Yi Tian nodded, saying, "I see." Yi Tian smiled, activating his speed talent, saying, "Judging from their stance, it looks like they want to replace your parents and want to become the new rulers of this forest." Little Jin acknowledged, "You are right, Master." Yi Tian defiantly approached the pack, saying, "Sorry, I can't agree with that." He activated his speed talent to its maximum. Yi Tian activated his shadow talent, jumped up and flew down toward the pack. He landed on the leader of the pack, killing it instantly. The others started to growl but was obviously all scared. They all instantly withdrew into the night. The leader of the pack lying dead in a crater. Yi Tian picks up Little Jin. He proclaims, showing off Little Jin to all the pack. "From now on, he will be your ruler." Little Jin could only wonder in astonishment. The scene shifts to the next day in an unknown area. It was Dad and Mom leading Yi Tian and Little Jin along a cliff upon a mountain. Yi Tian said, "Your mom's health just started improving. She shouldn't be walking this much." Mom looked back, saying, "Meow, meow." Little Jin translates. She says, "It is all right. She wants to give you a gift as a thank you." Yi Tian wonders. A gift? They continued to climb up along a deserted area. Yi Tian asked, "Are we still not there yet?" Little Jin assuredly answered, "Almost. It is in the cave up ahead." They all walked into the cave. A bright plant can be seen in the corner. Yi Tian looked at the plant, asking, "Is that a spiritual herb?" Little Jin said telepathically, "Yeah, that is Mom's gift. But she said the fruit needs 30 days to ripen. Master will have to wait for a bit." Yi Tian analyzed the plant, saying, 30 days, huh?" He gently touched the plant, saying, "I wonder what effect it has. Can't wait to find out." The scene shifts to some time afterwards. It was Yi Tian encouraging Mom who was giving birth. He says, "Push." Dad was standing in front of Mom, giving her comfort. Yi Tian was behind Mom, saying, "The head is out. Push some more." Suddenly, a baby cub popped out crying. "Wah!" Yi Tian happily said, "Ha ha ha. Another ruler has been born." Mom could be seen approaching the baby cub. The scene shifts to a month later. Yi Tian could be seen sniffing the fruit from the spiritual herb. He proclaimed, "What a fragrant scent. I think it's ripe already." Yi Tian gently plucked the fruit from the stalk. Little Jin excitedly said, "Master, quick. Eat it. Eat it." Yi Tian chuckled. "Ha ha ha. Look at how impatient it has made you." Yi Tian opened his mouth and ate the fruit. He dutifully swallowed the fruit. Yi Tian was surprised at his body's reaction, trying to stop the juices that tried to flow out. He cried out in pain. "Ugh!" Yi Tian fell down enduring the pain. Mom and Dad slowly walked toward Yi Tian, seeing if he was okay. Little Jin was also surprised. Just as Yi Tian fell unconscious, Little Jin cried out, "Master!" The scene shifts to some time afterwards. It was evening. Yi Tian was still asleep peacefully. Suddenly, he opened his eyes and woke up. Yi Tian sits up, rubbing his head, thinking, "My head hurts." He is still a bit groggy, but he analyzes. "It feels like that I have gained a mental ability." Yi Tian suddenly realizes, mental ability. That is a skill that only great martial warriors can handle. I can already control it even though I am only an elite martial warrior. He tests it out, thinking, wow, my talent detection range has increased to 50 meters. Yi Tian reaches out his hand, thinking, plus, a pop-up window can be seen as he reaches toward Dad. I can copy talents through the air now. A status window pops up. Species: Golden Dragon Panther. Innate talent: Apex tier. Speed talent: Apex tier. Endurance talent: Mid tier. Healing talent: Novice tier. Would you like to fuse mid-tier endurance talent? Yes, no. Yi Tian gets up slowly, deciding, no. Endurance talent isn't that useful. I need to prioritize leveling up my cultivation talent. He rubs his neck thinking about what he has gained and his next course of actions. All right. It is time to go home. I got some good stuff this time. Yi Tian slowly walks out of the cave, saying, we will part ways now. He gratefully says to Mom and Dad, thank you very much for the gift. It was a big help. Dad says, meow. Little Jin come running towards Yi Tian, crying, Master, I am coming too. I don't want to be separated from you. Yi Tian smiled at little Jin as he jumped up on him, saying, then I will introduce you to someone. She will definitely like you a lot. Little Jin appreciatively said, thank you, Master. The scene shifts to an area where Yi Tian and Little Jin can be seen running with the speed talent activated. Due to the speed talent being upgraded to her apex level, the light has turned into a purple color. Little Jin stood upon Yi Tian's shoulder saying, whoa, Master, the outside world is so interesting. I have never seen these things before. Yi Tian smiled, giving Little Jin a small warning. The outside world is very dangerous, silly. Yi Tian continued to focus on running and activating his apex speed talent. Suddenly, Yi Tian notices something strange. Yi Tian jumped, landed gracefully, and stopped at an area. He looked around and saw many bodies strewn around on the ground, saying, this is the 5th Academy. Many bodies lied around wearing the uniform of the 5th Academy. Yi Tian recognized one of the bodies. He yelled, Zheng Bao. Yi Tian ran towards a body that was leaning against a wreckage of a car. He supported Zheng Bao to diagnose the condition of his injuries, saying, are you okay? What in the world happened here? Zheng Bao slowly opened his eyes, weakly saying, Yi Tian. Yi Tian was relieved, saying, thank goodness you are still alive. He waved his hand, producing a healing medicine bottle in his hand. Yi Tian offered the bottle to Zheng Bao, saying, let's restore your health first. This is high-tier beast blood. The scene shifts to later that day. Yi Tian crossed his arms, confirming what he had heard. So, you are saying the people who robbed you were warriors from the Iron Fang base? Yeah, beasts completely destroyed the Iron Fang base. So 100,000 people escaped to our Linhai base. Robbers are running rampant. Everything is a mess. Yi Tian asked. Who is in charge of base right now? Zheng Bao shook his head, saying, the Lin family is still in charge, but in reality, they are mere figureheads. Yi Tian proclaimed. Just as I predicted. They have managed to take over. The scene shifts to Captain Galewolf's mansion. A light can be seen on the second floor, signifying some activity. A kendo martial artist can be seen preparing a standard strike. It was EU and Captain Galewolf sparring, with EU trying to land a strike. Captain Galewolf can be seen preparing a counter-attack. EU looks to be panicking seeing the counter-attack. A wooden kendo practice sword can be seen flying, broken into 2 pieces. EU can be seen sprawled on the floor, saying, "Dang, I lost again." Captain Galewolf praised EU, saying, "You have done quite well already. You have talent, EU." EU struggled to take off her kendo helmet, saying, "It is because you taught me well." EU smiled, appreciative of her accomplishments, saying, "Hehe." A hand clapping can be seen on the sidelines. EU turned to the sound of clapping hands. It was Yi Tian standing on the sidelines with his arms crossed. EU smiled, saying, "Bro." She ran towards Yi Tian, giving him a warm embrace, saying, "Bro, you are finally back." Yi Tian chuckled, saying, "Hey, you are way too excited." Little Jin popped out upon Yi Tian's shoulder, saying, "Meow." Yi Yu pointed towards Little Jin, asking, "Wow. A kitty? What is her name?" Yi Tian smiled, introducing, "Little Jin." Yi Yu swiped Little Jin from Yi Tian's shoulder, playing with her and running away, saying, "Little Jin. Hi Little Jin." Yi Tian could only wonder. "Huh?" Captain Galewolf laughed, saying, "Ha ha ha. I bet you didn't expect her to choose the pet over you." Yi Tian said. "Captain Galewolf." He saw Captain Galewolf walking towards him. Captain Galewolf bowed appreciatively towards Yi Tian. Yi Tian appreciatively commended Captain Galewolf, saying, "Thanks to your hard work, Yi Yu is now a martial apprentice." Captain Galewolf humbly said, "You are welcome." The scene shifts toward outside of Captain Galewolf's mansion. Captain Galewolf asked, "I am guessing you heard about the Iron Fang base invading us." Yi Tian and Captain Galewolf can be seen discussing the recent events. Yi Tian answered, "Yeah, I heard." "Did anything happen at home?" Captain Galewolf reported, "Rest assured. This place has always been safe." Captain Galewolf continued, "After you left, a girl by the name of Xiao Yu came by to drop this off. He handed over a membership token of the Martial Pavilion. She said the Iron Fang people would never dare to harass us after seeing this." Yi Tian acknowledged, saying, "That is a Martial Pavilion token." He smiled, thinking, "That was kind of her." Captain Galewolf continued, "Nothing has warranted the use of this yet, but..." Yi Tian asked cautiously, "But what?" Captain Galewolf's face turned to be very concerned, saying, "A person by the name of Sun Fang kept coming by to challenge you to a death match." Yi Tian was deep in thought, thinking, "Sun Feng? I remember that name. I checked his talents at the city gates." Captain Galewolf continued his report, saying, "He is known as one of the 4 prodigies of the Iron Fang base. After they entered the city, he kept finding elite martial warriors to challenge. As of now, he has never lost once." Captain Galewolf looked back at Yi Tian, saying, You should handle this carefully. He is not one to be trifled with. Yi Tian can be seen analyzing his surroundings, prompting Captain Galewolf to ask, "Hey, are you listening to me, Yi Tian?" Yi Tian was activating his mental ability, seeking to detect talent levels in his surroundings. He said, "Interesting." The scene shifts towards a vehicle coming down the road. It was Sun Feng riding his motorcycle down the street at blaring speed. As he approaches Yi Tian, he revs up his engine, increasing his speed. Sun Feng hits his brakes suddenly and does a wheelie right in front of Yi Tian. He yells, "Woohoo!" Yi Tian just stares at Sun Feng, angry that he has the audacity to do such a stunt in front of him. Sun Feng lands the front of his wheel right in front of Yi Tian. Sun Feng arrogantly asks, "You are Yi Tian, aren't you?" Yi Tian sternly says, "Yeah." Sun Feng arrogantly says, "You have finally returned." Captain Galewolf could be watching from afar. Sun Feng stomps down his foot, stating, "You should know why I am here." He continues, stating his challenge. "Meet me at Mingui Plaza at 10 a.m. tomorrow for a duel. The wager should be a bronze rank blade skill." Sun Feng grins evilly. "Would you dare to come?" A status window pops up. Human, Sun Feng, cultivation talent, high tier, sword talent, mid tier. Yi Tian activates his talent copying skill. A purple light seen only by him envelopes his hand. Yi Tian focuses on his talent copying skill, saying, "Of course." He continues, stating, "I will gladly accept the duel." A status window pops up. High-tier cultivation talent has been successfully copied. Sun Feng revs up his motorcycle, starting to leave. He smiles. "I will be waiting." Sun Feng turns around and drives his motorcycle in the other direction. Captain Galewolf warns Yi Tian, saying, "That was too impulsive of you. Sun Feng's strength is unfathomable. With your current strength, you will definitely lose." Yi Tian focuses his resolve and killing intent. He clenches his fist, saying, "You don't know about that." The scene shifts to later that night. A light can be seen in one of the bedrooms of Captain Galewolf's mansion. A status window can be seen. Human, Yi Tian, cultivation talent, high tier, speed talent, apex tier, sword talent, mid tier, shadow talent, novice tier, healing talent, apex tier, strength talent, high tier. Yi Tian can be seen sitting on his bed, saying, "Since my cultivation talent is already high tier, I will try stacking another one on top of it in order to upgrade it." A status window pops up. "Would you like to fuse the high tier cultivation talent? Yes? No?" Yi Tian closes his eyes, deciding resolutely, "Yes." After some time afterwards, the status window pops up and reads, "Human, Yi Tian, cultivation talent, apex tier, speed talent, apex tier, sword talent, mid tier, shadow talent, novice tier, healing talent, apex tier, strength talent, high tier." Yi Tian walks outside towards his balcony. He opens the door to his balcony. Yi Tian walks upon the balcony, resting his hands upon the railing. He looks towards the city in the skyline, saying, "Tomorrow's duel. I am kinda looking forward to it now." The scene shifts to the next morning at Mingui Plaza. A large crowd can be seen already gathered. Sun Feng can be seen sitting upon a chair next to the Lin's merit monument. A book can also be seen. Sun Feng closed his eyes in concentration. Somebody said. Sun Feng chose a new dueling place again. He hasn't lost any duels so far. A man can be seen among the crowd discussing the upcoming duel with someone. He says, I think the unlucky one this time is called Yi something. A name I have never heard of. The other person adds. The name is Yi Tian, I believe. I heard that he is still a kid. Why does Sun Feng want to have a duel with him? The man chuckled. His opponent is not the only unlucky one. The merit monument of the Lins will probably be destroyed as well. Others in the crowd continue the discussion. Every time there is a duel, Sun Feng takes the opportunity to destroy a family's merit monument. He is definitely doing it on purpose. The Iron Fang base has been crushing the prominent family's influence, and it's finally the leader's turn. Xiao Yu and Yu Ling can be seen standing away from the crowd. Xiao Yu says, My lady, do you think Yi Tian is coming? I am a little worried for him. Yu Ling answers confidently. No need to worry. Even if he can't beat Sun Feng, he will survive. Yu Yu is also among the crowd, saying in astonishment, Wow, why are so many people watching? Captain Galewolf stands next to Yu Yu, guarding her. He says, Sun Feng makes every duel this rowdy. It is exactly the sort of influence that he wants. Yu Yu asks, exasperatingly. But how are we supposed to get through if there is this many people? Suddenly, Yu Yu panics, saying, Bro, why don't we just return? The duel seems too dangerous. Yi Tian pats his sister's head, comforting her. He smiles confidently, saying, Don't worry, I will be right back. Suddenly, Yi Tian jumps up, activating his speed talent, frightening Yu Yu. He lands with grace in the middle of the empty arena. As Yi Tian stands up, people in the crowd begins to comment. Who is he? Is that the person that Sun Feng challenged? Yi Tian straightens his clothes, proclaiming, Thanks for waiting. Sun Feng slowly opens his eyes, arrogantly. He gets up from his chair as he walks toward Yi Tian, saying, I thought you wouldn't dare to come. Sun Feng gestures toward the book on the bookstand next to the merit monument, saying, This is the bronze rank sword skill book, current blade. Take it if you win. The skill book, current blade, that is put up as the wager can be seen being displayed proudly. Yi Tian waves his hand, producing a skill book of his own. Yi Tian holds the book out, proclaiming, Here is a bronze rank sword skill book that matches your criteria. The book flies out toward the book that was being displayed by Sun Feng and knocks it down. It was the book Shadow Blade that lies on top of the current blade book. Sun Feng unsheathes his sword, saying, How arrogant. He jumps toward Yi Tian, leaving behind a cloud of dust. Sun Feng runs toward Yi Tian, readying his sword strike. Yu Yu yells from the crowd, Watch out, bro. Yi Tian smiles as he activates his speed and strength talents. Sun Feng jumps as he arrogantly yells, Take this. Yi Tian only focuses and analyzes the flow of the battle. He shifts his foot towards Sun Feng as he readies his next plan of action. Yi Tian easily dodges Sun Feng's sword strike without even moving an inch. Sun Feng's face was greatly astonished, thinking, So fast. Sun Feng was frustrated on what further transpired, yelling. Bastard! Is your zodiac the rat? Cause all that you are doing is dodging. Sun Feng suddenly activated his current blade talent. He slashed downwards, attempting to deal a devastating blow. Yi Tian just lunged forward, easily dodging the attack. A hair from Yi Tian's head was sliced off. Yi Tian readied his fist to deal a punch. The punch hit Sun Feng squarely on his chest as blood spurted out of his mouth. His ribs were all cracked as the result of the devastating blow. Sun Feng flew backwards, crashing into some boxes. The crowd was astonished, saying, "He just sent Sun Feng flying with just one punch. Just who is this kid?" Yi Tian grinned widely, proclaiming, "Do I still seem like a rat now?" His fist was crackling, enveloped by his strength aura. Sun Feng stood up, saying, "You have got some moves, huh? In that case, I will stop holding back." Sun Feng activated his current blade talent to its maximum. A blue aura can be seen enveloping his body. He clenched his sword with both hands. Sun Feng yelled, "Wind Slash." The author has changed current blade's name to Wind Slash. Yi Tian focuses his talents in order to avoid the blows. He jumps and activates his speed and shadow talents. One of the wind blades slices the Lin's merit monument in half. It crashes down in a heap. Lin Mingzi and Elder Z could only watch in frustration. Lin Mingzi was angry and frustrated, thinking, "This bastard! How dare he do this to our family's merit monument?" Yi Tian landed gracefully as he avoided the wind slashes, saying, "That was close. Those are some remarkable sword skills you have got there." Sun Feng was astonished, saying, "How did he manage to dodge my wind slash?" Yi Tian rubbed his neck, saying, "It was worth it trying to drag the fight on." Sun Feng gasped, saying, "What did you say? You didn't fight back just because you wanted to see the sword skill?" Yi Tian laughed. "Ha ha ha, why else? I never saw you as a worthy opponent. You are not worthy of being one either. It was all for seeing the sword skill demonstration." Sun Feng crouched, getting ready to jump, saying, "You are taking this too far." He slices down toward Yi Tian, yelling, "Die!" Yi Tian can be seen standing there calmly as he readies his speed and shadow talents. Sun Feng slashes down mightily. Yi Tian avoids the blow and punches the sword, breaking it in half, using his strength talent. The broken blade flies upward. The sword lands with its point down, standing on the ground. Yi Tian grabs Sun Feng's head and smashes it on the ground using his strength talent. All of the crowd's faces was astonished. One even tried to say something but couldn't. Yi Tian stood above Sun Feng. He was knocked unconscious, signifying that the duel was over. Yi Tian straightened his clothes, proclaiming, "Well, that was boring." Sun Feng wasn't moving. His jaw slack, unconscious. Xiao Yu pointed at Yi Tian, cooing admirably. As expected of Sir Yi Tian. "That was awesome." Yu Ling shyly looked on. Yu Ling smiled, thinking, "Yi Tian, you are destined to join my martial pavilion. Resistance is futile." Yi Tian stood before the stand that Sun Feng was sitting nearby. He held up the heavy stand with one hand, trying to find the wind/skill book. Yi Tian picked up the wind/skill book. He rifled through reading the skill book, thinking, "Thanks for your wind/" Yi Yu ran up to Yi Tian, saying, "Bro." Yi Tian smiled at her. Yi Yu grabbed his arm, saying, "Wow, when did you become so strong?" "That was amazing," Yi Tian proudly said. "Hehe, really?" Captain Galewolf stood one side, was also beaming. Yi Yu cuddled upon Yi Tian, shyly asking, "When we get back, you have to teach me. I want to be strong too." Lin Mingzi looked on Yi Tian, Yi Yu and Captain Galewolf as they left Minghui Plaza. Elder Z bowed, saying, "Young Master, Yi Tian won." Lin Mingzi gravely said, "But our family lost. The merit monument of the Lins has fallen." Elder Z humbly asked, "Then, what should we do?" Lin Mingzi commanded, "You don't have to guard me for the next several days. Go guard Yi Tian's sister instead." He continued, "The Sun family won't let this slide." The scene shifts to Captain Galewolf's mansion that evening. Yi Tian can be seen sitting on a sofa reading his newly acquired bronze rank skill book, Wind/. He says, "This new Wind/skill can increase my attack power up to 6 times my current power." He rubs his neck, saying, "No wonder Sun Feng's slashes were so strong." Yi Tian puts the skill book onto the table. He yawns and stretches, finishing his reading and learning of the new Wind/skill. Yi Tian gets up and walks toward the window. He brings up his status window. Yi Tian grumbles, saying, "There is still 30 more days until I can copy a new talent. I forgot about this drawback. How annoying." He thinks, "All I can do now is wait for the cooldown to end before I can copy Sun Feng's high-tier sword talent." His status window currently reads, Human, Yi Tian, Cultivation talent, Apex tier, Speed talent, Apex tier, Sword talent, Mid tier, Shadow talent, Novice tier, Healing talent, Apex tier, Strength talent, High tier. Talent copying cooldown, 30 days. He continues to think. Then I will unleash the full potential of Shadow Blade and Wind/. Yi Tian rubs his chin, thinking. Then I will finally possess enough power 2 ranks above my own. Enough to combat a Grandmaster. He analyzes. That is what being truly powerful is about. The scene shifts to Yi Yu striking a training dummy using a kendo stick. She cries out, "Ha! Ha!" Her strikes are smooth and powerful, dealing multiple hits at once. Captain Galewolf can be seen standing behind her far away, watching her training. Captain Galewolf is in deep thought, thinking. While the duel has ended, judging by all the great family's character, the Sun family will definitely come back for revenge. He looks on towards Yi Yu, thinking. What would then happen to her? The scene shifts toward later on. Yi Yu can be seen finishing her training. She opens a bottle of water. She drinks the water straight in one drink. Yi Yu teases as she wipes some water from her mouth. "Captain, why do you keep staring at me?" Captain Galewolf was astonished. He recovers, waving his hand towards Yi Yu, saying, "Come here for a second, Yi Yu." Yi Yu obediently walks toward Captain Galewolf, saying, "What is it, Captain?" Captain Galewolf produces the Marshall Pavilion token that he has strung a necklace on and put it on EU, saying, "Wear this at all times and don't take it off." EU looks at the token, saying, "What is this? It is so pretty." Captain Galewolf says, "Treat it like an amulet. Make sure you don't lose it." EU giggles, saying, "Thank you, Captain. I will take good care of it." The scene shifts towards someone running. It was the Lady Archer, who was running toward Captain Galewolf's mansion. She passes by Elder Z, who was trying to remain incognito. As she came upon Captain Galewolf, she yelled, "Captain!" She continued, panting her report. "Captain, I have got some info." Captain Galewolf asked, "What did you find out? What is the Sun family up to?" The Lady Archer gasped. "They are busy looking around at shops so they can set up a business as a stronghold." Captain Galewolf rubs his chin, saying, "A business? It looks like the Sun family can still keep their cool. They won't start killing before they have established a firm base." The scene shifts toward Elder Z, who was continuing to remain hidden while keeping an eye on the surroundings. He was wearing an outfit like a beggar. He keeps his head down to remain inconspicuous while activating his talents. The scene shifts toward Captain Galewolf's mansion. 1 month later, Etienne can be seen leaving the mansion. Elder Z can be seen rummaging through some trash. Etienne was finishing eating some snacks as he turns around looking at the mansion. He walks past Elder Z. Etienne was analyzing his surroundings. Elder Z is astonished. This guy is using mental abilities to investigate me. He looks toward Etienne, thinking, how did he obtain mental ability? Only great warriors have it. Etienne pulls his hood down, saying, "To think that the Lin family would send a great martial warrior to guard my house. How generous of them." The scene shifts towards the martial marketplace. Etienne can be seen walking among the crowded area. He thinks. In the past month, Captain Galewolf learned about the details about the Sun family's current activities in the Linhai base and their background. He continues to think. To ensure the purity of their sword talent, they went as far as into marrying. Marriage only among their own family bloodline. If the birth child had any defects, it would be secretly dealt with. What a crazy family. Etienne arrives at the Sun family's shop. Sun Feng can be seen greeting all customers, gesturing them inside the shop. He announces, to celebrate the store's grand opening, all items are 50% off. The man can be seen complimenting. "Congratulations, young Master Sunday. I hope fortune comes rolling inches." Sun Feng laughs, speaking toward the crowd. "Ha ha ha. Please enter." A woman fawns toward Sun Feng, saying, "Congrats, young Master Sunday." Sun Feng chuckles. "Thank you." Etienne can be seen standing far away at the corner of the store. He focuses on starting his copying talent. Sun Feng's status window pops up. Human, Sun Feng, cultivation talent, high tier, sword talent, mid tier. Etienne's hand glows as the copy talent activates. He gestures his hand towards Sun Feng, saying, "And I will wish you." Etienne smiles, finishing. An early death. Etienne's status window now reads, Human, Yi Tian, Cultivation Talent, Apex Tier, Speed Talent, Apex Tier, Sword Talent, High Tier, Shadow Talent, Novice Tier, Healing Talent, Apex Tier, Strength Talent, High Tier. The scene shifts towards the South Hill Cemetery. That evening, Yi Tian can be seen walking to his parents' grave, carrying a bouquet of flowers. Yi Tian places the bouquet of flowers down on his parents' grave. He crouches praying, saying, "Dad, Mom, I have come to visit." Yi Tian stands up. He bows his head, continuing, "I plan on taking you to somewhere better. We will be leaving Linhai base." Yi Tian continues, "I wanted to see you guys before leaving, and let you to take a look at me." He smiles, saying, "Look at how much I have grown." Suddenly, someone can be seen sprinting from afar towards the cemetery. That person sees his target as Yi Tian. He lands silently upon another gravestone head nearby, behind Yi Tian. He can be seen smiling evilly, walking silently toward Yi Tian. Yi Tian suddenly notices him, activating his speed talent. He takes out his shadow blade as it appears within his grasp. The man suddenly runs up to Yi Tian, dealing a close combat strike. Yi Tian deftly parries the sword attack. The man smiles evilly, saying, "To have defeated Sun Feng, you must have got some skills." Yi Tian grimaces, saying, "The Sun family's dog. I have been waiting for you." The man activates his talent and strikes again at Yi Tian. Yi Tian deftly parries the attack again without activating his talents, still analyzing his opponent. The man closes the distance, while he activates another of his talents, attempting to deal a heavy blow. Yi Tian sees this and avoids the blow. Yi Tian activates his speed talent, retreating, trying to create some distance. The man arrogantly says, "If I killed you immediately after the duel, it would have led to some rumors being created. You should thank me for allowing you to live another month." Yi Tian yells, "You talk too much." This prompts the man to jump and run to close the distance again. Yi Tian follows suit, jumping and running toward the man, again without activating his speed talent. The two men clashes. The man activates his talent. Yi Tian minimally activating his strength talent just so he can meet the blow. The two men clash, dealing a flurry of blows that Yi Tian meets with ease. Yi Tian and the mysterious man can be seen dealing blows on even footing. The man activating his talents, while Yi Tian minimally using his strength talent. The two men continue their clash, dancing around the cemetery. Yi Tian suddenly sees that his bouquet of flowers were disturbed by the man on purpose. The bouquet can be seen flying. Yi Tian backs away, with the man following suit. The man finally introduces himself. "I am Sun Feng's master, Kai Meng. He is like a son to me. You injured him, so you must die." He continues, "This is quite the appropriate place, though." A cemetery. Yi Tian bows down in order to pick up the bouquet of flowers. Kai Meng continues to arrogantly say, "This is the perfect place to die." Yi Tian ignores him, just walking back to his parents' grave. Yi Tian kneels and crouches down praying, placing the bouquet back next to his parents' grave. Kai Meng continues to arrogantly say, "If you kneel and beg before me, I will show you some mercy. I will dig your parents' grave up and bury you all together." Kai Meng chuckles evilly. Right, you still have a younger sister. Don't worry, for she will join you soon. Yi Tian clenches his hand just as he gets up. He activates his speed talent, readying his stance. Yi Tian focuses his killing intent, saying, "You asked for death." He activates his speed talent to its maximum. Apex tier speed talent. Yi Tian disappears using his shadow talent minimally as he speeds toward Kai Meng. Kai Meng is astonished as he sees the incoming danger. Yi Tian kicks out at Kai Meng, hitting him squarely. Kai Meng flies away. Kai Meng's face coughs out some spit as he endures the blow. Kai Meng jumps up, activating his talent as he tries to get away. However, Yi Tian easily pursues Kai Meng, closing the distance. Yi Tian grabs Kai Meng's collar, activating his strength talent. Yi Tian can be seen starting to throw Kai Meng away into the distance as he ramps up his strength talent to its maximum. Yi Tian throws Kai Meng away as Kai Meng helplessly flies away into the distance. Kai Meng can be seen helplessly flying towards a large mountain in the distance. Yi Tian activates his speed talent to its maximum, attempting to chase down Kai Meng. The scene shifts towards the distant mountain. Dust clouds flying everywhere. It was Kai Meng's hand, lifeless, not moving. Kai Meng can be seen unconscious, sprawling on the ground. Yi Tian can be seen walking slowly toward Kai Meng. Kai Meng opened his eyes, just barely regaining consciousness, saying, "You are?" His eyes blurry as he sees Yi Tian coming up towards him. Kai Meng realizes the situation. His life slowly going to be ended, saying, "Grandmaster. You're a grandmaster." Yi Tian smiles as he deals the killing blow. Kai Meng could only see black as his life ends. The scene shifts to Yi Tian rummaging Kai Meng's corpse. He picks up a sword skill book, saying, "Twilight Blade. Sounds like a pretty good sword skill." Yi Tian also picks up Kai Meng's sword, saying, "This weapon is also way better than my previous one. It's mine now." He looks up at his surroundings, saying, "It is already this late." Yi Tian runs normally, heading back home, saying, "I have got to head back home for dinner, or else Yu is going to nag me again."
That is all for today. If you want to see more in the future, please support my channel by subscribing, liking, and commenting on this video. I want to thank you in advance. I truly appreciate it.
I would like to ask my subscribers and community, would like me to continue with this story, or would you like me to start another story? Things are going to really start off and become even more intriguing. Please comment on your thoughts. As usual, your inputs, hopes and desires are what truly is my inspiration to continue with this channel.